let's explore global extremes. Joseph Kursky here with you, and while we do that, let's encourage spatial thinking and also encourage instructors to teach with this globe of extremes. Written and created by two of my favorite and most respected people in all of GIS, Raluca Nicola and John Nelson. Here is the URL. Let's examine some of the extremes around the world, highest elevation, most remote point, etc. You've got this 3D globe. This is based on the ArcGIS API, very powerful set of tools. And you too can develop web mapping applications like this. If you know a little bit about and immerse yourself in the world of JavaScript and Python, you can create web mapping applications, 3D scenes, globes, like John and Raluca did here, as we are going to demonstrate right now. Read Raluca's blog post to find out how she created this globe. You've got some code in there that you can start digging into, and much more. So these tools are powerful. They can be used, as we're going to do here, to teach about our wonderful world. The most distant point from land, 2,688 kilometers from the nearest land in the South Pacific Ocean. The oceanic pole of inaccessibility. Point Nemo, it's dubbed. And why is this so fascinating? Because it's the longest distance from land. And you can use this inside ArcGIS 3D Scene or even ArcGIS Online or ArcGIS Pro and use the measure tools to measure the distance from that to the nearest land. The highest active volcano summit, the Ojos del Salado, the highest permanent human settlement. And again, use this globe and also other web mapping tools in 2D and 3D to investigate these in more detail. Look at the biomes, look at the population density, look at ocean currents. My colleague, Dr. Dawn Wright, went to this place as well, Challenger Deep, back in 2023, I believe it was. Deepest point in the ocean, Eurasian pole of inaccessibility, farthest from the nearest coastline. Wow, far western China. Before you go here, ask students, where do you think that point of land would be? And what do you think it looks like there? Do you think a lot of people live there? What kind of biomes, ecoregions, plants, animals, etc. are there? Deepest lake, I think many of you know this, Lake Baikal in southern Russia. Look at this, 22 to 23% of the world's fresh water. I did not realize that before. That's what I love about mapping tools. They always teach me new things. Sometimes they confirm my preconceived notion of how the world works. Sometimes they challenge my preconceived knowledge or notion of how the world works. But that is just fascinating to realize. Let's take a look at Baku, Azerbaijan, the lowest lying national capital in the world, and also the largest city in the world located below sea level, 28 meters or 92 feet below sea level. Fascinating. There's all kinds of things you can learn here with pop-ups, for example. You can customize pop-ups. You can create 2D and 3D globes like this. And what if you brought this into ArcGIS Online and ArcGIS Pro or the 3D Scene Viewer in ArcGIS Online? You could look at things like, what's the biome and ecoregion? What's the population density of some of these places? What's the elevation here? And so on and so forth. What's the population growth like? What's it going to look like at this location in what we were looking at before here in Peru, for example, years from now? Let's look at one more. This is probably the most famous one on this, Mount Everest, on the border between Nepal and China. And here's something I didn't know before I started looking at this globe. George Mallory and Andrew Irvine, 1924, they never returned. And look, Mallory's body was found in 1999, 75 years later. That's mind-boggling. So did they reach the peak? Did they not reach the peak before Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay? And you can see the sources for each one of these as well. And you can build your own fascinating places around the world. I've got a web mapping application called Weird Earth. It's got things like these fascinating plants in this island here off the Red Sea south of Yemen. It's got that Eye of Mauritania that you've probably seen on satellite imagery up here in North Africa, and other things. I've built my own, and you can build your own too, of the extremes of your country, wherever you happen to live, or the extremes of the Pacific Ocean, or the extremes about the chaparral biome, or the extremes about Sweden, or Paris, France, or Libya, etc. You can make your own, and that's what's fascinating. You've got 2D and 3D mapping tools through the wonders of WebGIS at your fingertips. You've got loads of spatial data available in the Living Atlas of the World and elsewhere, and much more. But this is a short exploration into the globe of extremes. I highly encourage you to do what I do and expand on what I do as well. I use this as an intro to get students thinking spatially about our fantastic, amazing, wonderful planet, and get them thinking a little bit about, okay, what steps can we make to protect our planet, being as it's such a unique thing, it's such a unique place in the universe, in the cosmos. Help people think spatially and critically about the world. This is a fun, engaging way to start them along that pathway. Thanks, and keep thinking spatially.